Dear Evan Hansen, today is going to be an amazing day, and here's why.
Have you been doing those letters to yourself with Dr. Sherman?
I've been trying to. Have you ever felt like nobody was there?
No one signed your cast. Now we can both pretend we are friends.
I'm sorry about my brother.
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? I wish everything was different. Wish I was part of something. I wish that anything I said mattered. Have you ever felt like you could disappear?
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, that's mine. I'll just take it. Wait, I need that back. Like you could fall, and no one would hear. Connor took a letter from me, and it was an assignment from my therapist.
Ew.
Even when the dark comes crashing through.
Connor's mother and stepfather are here to see you.
When you need a friend to carry you.
Connor wanted you to have this.
And when you're broken on the ground.
Dear Evan Hansen, he wrote it to you.
His last words, Connor took his own life.
Hey, what? I'm sorry, Connor didn't write this.
No, please. It says,
You will be found.
We didn't think Connor had any friends.
I mean, you really gonna tell these people that the only thing they have left of their son was a letter that you wrote to yourself?
so, you and Connor, tell us something, please.
Right. I started talking and
You couldn't stop.
they didn't want me to stop.
I'm putting together a memorial service. If you wanted to do something,
Connor showed me that I wasn't alone. Nobody is. So let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay.
I didn't know that you were hurting.
'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand,
a lot of people feel like us.
you can reach out your hand.
People started sharing it. It's everywhere.
I don't understand what happened.
You did.
You don't know how much you've given my family and me. Were you ever actually friends with him?
I had never meant to make it such a mess. I was trying to help. If you knew who I am, just how broken I am.
I already know you. And I love you.
I have to tell them.
You will be found. This was uplifting, heartbreaking, and an emotionally resonant story for anyone who's ever felt lost or alone. I had been waiting to see this film for the better part of half a decade. I vividly remember when I first listened to the Broadway recording of this musical. It was not even a month after The Greatest Showman came out in theaters, and I was searching for more projects that Pasek and Paul had worked on together. After that soundtrack took me by storm in the best way possible, this also had a similar effect. In fact, I'd say even more so considering how much I related to Evan's story and how powerful it was. At the time, the idea of a film adaptation was just an idea on paper and not much else. I unfortunately never got the chance to see it on Broadway, so just the slightest possibility of it becoming a film was everything to me. A few years passed, and I remember reading at one point that the film was officially happening and was not only being produced by Platt's dad, but that Ben would be reprising the very role that gained him widespread attention and acclaim. Fast forward to early 2021, and the film was officially in post-production with the release date to be announced. I must have slept on it for several months, though, because the next time I heard about it was when the trailer dropped just a few months before its release. Like so many others, that trailer alone left me both very emotional and highly satisfied. I could not have been more ready for this film. In the weeks leading up to its release, I started to see a trend that I did not like at all. As the release date drew closer, more and more negative reviews were coming out. Critics were slamming the film for a handful of reasons, and I could not understand why at the time. Now that I've seen the movie with my own eyes, I understand where they're coming from. Most of these critics are unfortunately coming from an ignorant and uninformed place. Most of them have not seen the musical and haven't done any research on the story at all. As such, I refuse to put any stock into what they have to say. Just like The Greatest Showman before it, critics and fans could not have been more divided. That movie also got slammed by critics, but the fans adored it, myself included. It doesn't take much to see the similarities. Just look at the rotten 33% critic score and then look at the fresh 92% audience score. The proof is right there. I heavily disagree with the critics on The Greatest Showman, and here is no different. In fact, I'm pretty sure I disagree with them even more with this than the latter. You have to have a pretty stone-cold heart not to be affected by the themes and songs this presents. I found the film to be a complex, nuanced, and grounded story about people dealing with real problems and real heartbreak. I never felt as though its emotion was manipulative or contrived. If anything, it felt raw, honest, and extremely authentic. I have felt exactly like Evan at certain points in my life, and it was startlingly accurate in its depiction of depression and anxiety. Could the film have done more in its depiction of mental health? Absolutely, but that was never the story's main focus in the first place. As it stands, the film does a fine enough job in that specific area. What really drives this home for me is the songs. They're noticeably more restrained and bare bones than the musical was, but it's appropriate for the medium they're being translated to. Every song has energy, passion, and powerful immediacy. Some definitely hit me harder than others, but this soundtrack is still very strong on its own. 3 particular songs simply destroyed me once they began. This cast is top tier. Everyone is giving it 110%, and it became abundantly clear that everyone involved in making this movie wanted to create and deliver the best product they could. Specifically for the fans who have stuck by this story ever since it originally came out. Platt's Evan is perfectly realized here, and despite being almost 30 years old, he does a fantastic job of embodying a nervous and awkward high schooler. Whether he's belting out a heart-wrenching song or simply walking down a hallway, he commits to making it feel genuine and real. Other standouts include Dever, Stenberg, Ryan, and more, but like I said before, the entire cast does excellent work in general. This movie left me feeling liberated in a way I haven't felt for a long time. I felt heard and seen. This film moved me in ways I can't quite fully explain. The characters are flawed and complex. The writing is thoughtful and well-intentioned. The message is powerful, and the story is a cautionary tale, but it's also one of compassion and empowerment. I'm so glad I finally got to see this on the big screen when I did. And I really hope that positive word of mouth keeps spreading further and further for years to come. I can't technically say it's better than the Broadway show, mostly because I've never seen that, but it is still a great adaptation either way. I may like it even more than The Greatest Showman, but for the moment I'll just say that it's now one of my all-time favorite movie musicals to date. Sorry, critics and haters, I simply cannot disagree with you more on this one. I give Dear Evan Hansen 5 out of 5 stars. Thank you so much for listening.